What's up? What's up? We are live right now. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope all is well.
Can you find the checkmate?
I just posted a new video. Y'all can check that out if you want. It's an unbelievable checkmate in 2 moves. So shout out if you watched that video and click like. Also clicking like on this stream will help me out here. Alright, I'm going to kick things off with a random blitz game. Yeah, let's just play someone random. Alright, we have Black and White Zor from Italy, rated 1928. We're going to do a French. And we have a Tarash on the board. And we have this variation. I'm going to play this knight over here. We take back with the knight. Everything is looking good. Now the queen's protecting the other knight. I have 2 knights out into the game. I think I'm going to play bishop to d3. If the queen takes, that'll just drop the queen with that. So this is covered. Everything here is protected. We are Gucci. Let's castle. Hey, Mastermind. If he castles too, then I have to address the knight. Because I can no longer throw a check. Alright, I think we're going to take her pawn structure a little bit. Now that pawn is all by itself. It could be a long-term target. Let's go over here. Develop that bishop. Maybe queen e2. Put a rook on over here. That looks solid. Solid plan. Let's do it. Maybe I take, bishop takes, and then queen here targets this, targets that. Oh, can we do it? Time to remove the defender of this square. And now we have a double attack, actually, because now I'm on the rook. Now I'm on the rook. That doesn't do anything about the checkmate here. So queen takes h7 is checkmate. Just like that, we beat someone rated 1920. Easy peasy. No, there was no way he was stream sniping because I did a random player. I literally clicked on new game because nobody was in my queue. Speaking of which, it's time to open that up. We're going to start this with 1 win. Queue is now open. Yeah, I mean, I doubt it. I doubt it. If he was really stream sniping, he would not have lost. But this was a big mistake. This guards the rook, but I mean, come on. How can someone be 1920 and not see that there's a checkmate on h7? Kind of beyond me. I'm curious if I have a brilliant move here. Probably not. Oh, I do. I get a brilliant move. Bro, your opponents are easier than my 600? No way. No way. Guys, check this out. If I do this, I have a brilliant move. Castling was brilliant. Castling was brilliant here. Because if they take my knight, then I have this check. Exposing the queen on the queen. So like if they block or whatever, the queen falls. That's why castling was brilliant. Hole reveal when? Luckies, what hole are you referring to here? What are you talking about? Lucky's show. Funny. Who wants to play me? Mastermind. Lucky show. Someone come play me. Oh, my butt? Is that what you meant, Lucky Show? I'm not going to show that on stream. That's one way to get banned. No good. This is a family-friendly chat. I don't want to show my butt. No, thank you. Why are you being weird, Lucky? No. Alright, Mastermind, let's run it up. I think I have your username. Yeah, I do. Alright, here we go. Let's get a game. Challenge. We're going to do Blitz game. Unrated. I need to refresh the page for some reason. Alright, here we go. Alright, good luck. We have a Caro-Kann on the board. Our favorite opening. We're going to play d5. Bring out the pawns. Center control. That's the way to go. Alright, they're doing the 2 knights attack, but here we just take. Now knight f6. If they take our knight, it doesn't matter if we double our pawns, because it'll help quickly develop our pieces. And this pawn is nice, because it's protecting against the knight's mobility. So that knight is kind of a bad piece there. Let's go here and castle. We're quickly fighting for control here, so we're good. Let's castle. Put a rook on e8. Throw in a check. Pop a check. Where are they going? Okay, they block. Let's go this way. Punch out at the bishop. Bishop can't take ours because of the pin. So let's just put pressure on this pin. See what we can do. Let's see. Where is that bishop going to go? Queen comes to play. All right. I think we take and hurt the pawn structure a little bit. I think that's the plan. Let's do it. Let's take and go in with queen e7. Maybe I could have played queen e7 instead just right away, but I think we're all right after queen e7 starting to form a little attack on that pawn, and we get a pawn, and it's not just any pawn, it's a center pawn. So we get that. That is fantastic for us. Next, okay, now they're offering an exchange, which I don't think is so smart, because after I take rook takes, sure, they get temporary control over that e-file, but after king f8, the king is completely shutting out that rook. That rook has absolutely nowhere to go. I'm going to play bishop g4 next, knight d7, bring out my other rook, and I'm fine to trade down pieces because I am up a pawn. So this is excellent for me. Let's see what they're going to do with that knight, if anything. If they don't do anything with that knight, which they don't here, I'm going to chop it off and hurt their pawn structure even more. This is excellent. All right. What next? I may want to make a waiting move here. Because if they take, I can take back with my knight. That's my plan. Yes, take back with the knight. And now my pawn structure is not compromised. My knight's out on a pretty good square. They blunder this pawn. If they take here, I can come here, and my rook is suddenly active. This is excellent. Let's go ahead and do that. And at the same time, my knight is always going to put pressure on a bunch of pieces. So let's go over here. Now my rook is active. Bring it out into the game. All right, let's push. Where's this bishop going? Bishop is starting to become awkward. Let's go over here. Hit the bishop this way. What are they doing next? They go there. That's a free bishop. Knights can go backwards, buddy. There we go. Good game. Knights move backwards. Go. Take that away. That knights can go backwards. You blame me because you lost? Well, yeah, you can always blame your opponent for your loss, but really you should blame yourself. Because of the Caro-Kann, come on. No way. Caro-Kann is a fine opening. No one else is in here. No one else is in my queue. If anyone wants to play me, just do !join. I got you stressed. Come on, there's no reason to stress. These are just friendly games. Alright, Mastermind, I sent you a rematch. Here we go. Let's do this. Let's run it up. Bro. Don't bro me. Every move you make me think it was a mistake. Good. That's chess for you. You have to think about your moves. Alright. Bring out the ponies. Are we going to get the 4 ponies? We are. Here we get the 4 knights. Scotch. Accepted. All good stuff. Taking here is an inaccuracy because it helps me develop my queen early. Let's go here. Tickle the king with the little check. Okay, they don't want to trade off queens. Smart move. Let's go over here. Put some pressure. Maybe castle queenside and we'll have an opposite side castling game where I'm just going to shove pawns at the king. That's my idea. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's have some opposite side castling over here. Let's back up that bishop. Maybe over here. This is a little spicy. Now I'm on that pawn. I'm on that pawn. They got it like defended or something. Okay, they move in with the knight. Smart move. Smart move indeed. Let's go ahead and play like maybe this. So that if the knight takes, we take back with the queen. If they go here, this is not a pin that I have to worry about because I have the move f4. Shutting down that bishop. You know what? I'm going to play f4 anyway over here. I do want to move my king away to b1. Just to get out of this line, which is really annoying right now. Let's just go over here. Easy peasy. Get rid of that bishop. Let's take back with the... let's take back with the knight. No, let's take back with the queen. Gets out of this line, and the knight could potentially be useful here on d5. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, the bishop is coming out to play. Now we sink in our knight to d5. That knight would not have been able to go to d5 if I took there with the knight instead of the queen. That's why I took back with the queen, so that my knight can go to this square. And now we're hitting the bishop. Do we want the bishop, though? Is that something that we want? You know what? Hell yeah, let's take that bishop and go here to protect the pawn. Maybe push the pawn up at some point. All right, what are they doing now? They want to open things up for sure. If I go here, queen takes with check, I move my king. This looks fine for me. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's move the king. My king is out of dodge. My rook is on this pawn. I can very quickly get active with rook f1. To me, this looks like a free pawn. Do I take it with the pawn or the rook? I'm going to take with the rook because now I'm on tempo. That's just a free queen. What are they doing? What on earth are they doing? They're just giving up a queen. They should have just moved the queen and accepted that they lost a pawn. They doubled down on it. You accidentally pre-moved that. Okay, what? Even if I took back with the pawn and you pre-moved, I take the queen. Why on earth would you pre-move that in that position? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. None whatsoever. Oh, we didn't update our record here. So actually, we got 3 wins. We got 3 wins, 0 loss, 0 draw. If anyone wants to play, I see a bunch of new people are here watching my stream. Just do ! join and space, and then give me your chess.com username. Aiden, what's up? What's up? If you want to play, just do that. And make sure you sub to my channel and throw me a like. You didn't have to mention 0 loss. I'm a cool man. Hey, if you want to change that, just beat me. I'll offer you a rematch. No one's in the queue. If you're down, I'm down. No one else wants to play me, so I guess it's just you, Mastermind. No, don't use Stockfish. 1900, I don't think the trouble is needed. Okay, fine. If you don't want to learn and get better, there's not much I can do about that. But all of my games come with commentary. Okay, I appreciate that, Aiden. At least you're subbing. But the best way to improve is to either play someone at your level or play someone above your level, but hear their thoughts. So my spin on it is I give my thoughts out loud, and I don't care if you quote-unquote stream snipe. Like, listen to my stream while I play you, because ultimately it's just going to help you get better. As long as it's not a rated game. I don't care. CoreSquares is not cool. He make me panic too much. Hey, that's the only way to get better, right? You have to. If you're panicking in an unrated game against me, how are you going to play again in like a tournament where like everything is on the line and every game is super critical? All right, since nobody wants to play me again, I don't think he wants to play me again. I think he's tapping out. Mastermind is tapping out over here. Anyone here want to play? Going once, going twice before I play someone random. Who said I play? Maybe one day you'll play in a tournament. You never know. Alright, I'm going to do a random game. Here we go. We have someone 1964 from Poland. Oh, Noah wants to play. I'm going to boarding this game. Noah, let's go ahead. Noah, what's your chess.com username? Let's go. Let's get this rolling. Mr. Noah Jaeger in the chat with the challenge. All right, no problem. Take your time. Just drop your chess.com username when you're ready. And we'll have a game. Shach Live. I love that username because in Hebrew, chess is shachmat. So it's sort of similar to that. Maybe in German, the Shach Live is the name. Okay, let me find you. Let me find you. I found you. Yeah, from Germany. Very nice. Okay, I sent you the challenge. I love your picture. All right, here we go. Let's put on the gloves. Let's have a fight, Noah. Let's have a good game. You know one Polish word? I don't want to say that out loud in case if it's a bad word. But what does that mean, Mastermind? Mr. Noah, I sent you the challenge. It says waiting for opponents. Make sure you're logged into chess.com and hit play. And then you should see a pop-up on your lower right. If you need... Yeah, I knew it was a bad word. If it's the only word you know in another language, it has to be a bad word. Alright, Noah, take your time. Let me know if you didn't get it or whatever, and then I can only send you a new one. We're going to have quite a brawl. You know many Chinese words? I know ni hao. Ni hao wo jiao kori. How do you accept? If you don't see a pop-up on your screen, then let me resend the challenge to you. Just go to chess.com, hit the play button, and I'll send you a challenge again. And you should see it pop up on your screen. Just make sure you're on that page. All right, I'm going to do challenge. It says you're online, so you should see something pop up right now. All right, I sent you another challenge. Here we go. All right, we get the game on the board. Let's go with e4, best by test. And we have a Sicilian. All right, spicing things up right away. We're going to play a Rossolimo, where we bring out the bishop to hit that knight and see what they want to do. All right, they're going to do a classic fianchetto variation where I'm going to castle and then play rook e1. And now, very quickly, we're getting central control. Hey, what's up there? Good to see you. Why do you have that green green hashtag? Because as a premium member, you can pick whatever icon you want. So I picked something that was pretty close to the CoreSquares icon. Let's go over here. If they hit me again, I'm going to go over here. And everything is under control. I have excellent center control. Beautiful position for me. All right, they take. I'm just going to take back with the pawn. And now I have two pawns occupying the center. Knight here, I'm a little bit afraid of, but I can just move my bishop over here. And I can always play like a3 or whatever after. So I'm not really too concerned about that. I might play a3 next. Okay, they're going there. I'm going to go this way. Protect the pawn a little bit. Maybe push it at some point. Maybe even right away if they don't do much. All right, I think I can get away with this. It looks kind of scary, but I think we can do it. Let's go here. Hey, we get a new sub. We get a new sub. It is someone Hardaway. Hadaway? Something like that. It's hard for me to read it, but whoever it is, thank you very much. If you want to comment in my stream, I will thank you out loud. All right, here, I'm going to just take the bishop because the threat is still on. Let's actually take this way with the pawn. It may look counterintuitive, but I want to keep the queen over here so that if they block with the bishop, I still have another piece on it. Smart guy from court. Jerry, what's up, what's up? No, queue is open. You are in the queue. Before stream, yeah, if I'm not streaming, the queue is definitely not open. All right, I have a little dilemma. If I take the knight, the bishop takes the pawn, and then the bishop's on the rook. That's not too good for me. So what I'm going to do is move my knight over here so that I don't do that. Maybe I could have got away with it, but there's no reason for me to drop that exchange like that. Question from Dante. What opening did I play? This is a Sicilian Rossolimo variation. All right, I think here it's a no-brainer that I play rook c1. Get the rook active. If this knight and bishop were to ever move out of the way, my rook would be very active. All right, what is... Hey, a chess player. What's up, what's up? Good to see you again. Let's go over here. Get some activity. Hit the knight. You need to learn Caro-Kann counterattack. I recommend the two knights attack to learn. All right, this is looking excellent for me. Let's go ahead and play pushing the pawn again. Push, boom, boom, boom. I'm not really sure I want to do that quite yet, but what I could do is expand. Let's play f4 and expand. Hold on a second. This pawn is hanging. This pawn is hanging. Let's just kick away the knight. Where's that knight going now? My day's going pretty good. I just got back from work. And I posted a video. A short. It's the most unbelievable checkmate in 2 you'll ever see. Alright. What to do now? I think here pushing makes sense. It almost makes sense. It is loosening this, but I think we can get away with it. Let's go ahead and do it. We got to be aggressive. If the knight takes, we can take here, and then we're on the bishop, we're on the queen. I mean, that looks pretty solid for us. Yeah, check it out. See, pause the video right away. See if you can solve it. All right, I think here it makes a ton of sense for us to play because we're on the queen and we're on the bishop. This has to be pretty good. If knight takes, it's on the queen too, but pawn takes and I can then like take back or something like that. Yeah, I think this is good. If he takes, I can take here, and then if takes, there's takes back. I think this is okay. Dante, questions about this game? Because you can ask me anything right away. Ask me whatever you want. Mate in 49. Yeah, I never quite understood what you meant by that. Let's go here. And I think we're in pretty good shape. Because I can take my pick. Maybe I'll take the bishop here. Because I'm on the rook. I'm on the knight. The knight is hard. Like, they're just falling apart here. What are they doing? Oh, I have 18 seconds? Uh-oh. I don't have a whole lot of time here. I have 17 seconds left. Hey, what's up, Joel Perlstein? No, I don't understand. I don't know what you're talking about. I have 15 seconds. My opponent is playing pretty well. But now I'm going to squeeze him. This game is about to be over real soon. Check. Let's go here. Check. And then mate next. Boom. That's how we do it. You founded a chess player? That's fantastic. That is fantastic. I hope you clicked on like on that video. Dante says, is the Ruy Lopez the best opening? It sees the most play at the highest level, but the reasons confuse me as to why black plays into it willingly. It is the best opening. I mean, it's at the top level, it's the best opening. That's the meta, to play the Ruy Lopez. Or the Sicilian if as black, if you really want to push for a win. But the Sicilian can get very complicated, so that's why black plays e5 a lot of times in response to e4, and then white can pretty much play a Ruy Lopez. That's the logical flow of it. It is the best opening at a top level, but if you're a beginner, I don't recommend the Ruy Lopez just because it's a mountain of theory that you would need to learn to play it. So I would recommend something a little bit simpler, like the Scotch 4 knights, e4, e5, and then bring out your knights, and then d4, and that's how you should play. And there's there's a little bit of theory to learn if you want to learn it properly, but you can get by just playing that and going from there. Mastermind, I'm keeping it to one person per stream unless if the queue is just dead. If the queue is not dead. Noah has a good question. What did I do wrong, bro? Bro, I'm gonna help you out here. Let's start off with the opening here. E4, C5. Like, this is a good opening. This is like mainline theory. Your problem is not with the opening. Your problem is the middle game here at this point. I think this is where you start to go wrong. I'm going to look at the eval, what it says. The bar is in my favor. It's giving me +2. I'm hitting your knight. I'm hitting your queen. It's just opening the door for a ton of complications. So takes. I mean, I take with the pawn. Yeah, it opens up my king side a little bit, damages my pawn structure, but it keeps my queen centralized. And I just continue putting on pressure. And yeah, this is just deadly. You're just dropping pieces. It's tactics that you need to do better at. Definitely tactics. Why does black choose to play into it if it's the best opening? It's also the best opening for the other side to allow the Ruy Lopez. It's not like the Ruy Lopez is going to win. It kind of like leads to drawish positions. You can have the Berlin defense come out of it. There's a lot of draws that come from the Ruy Lopez. It's the best opening for both sides. That's how you end up with the Ruy Lopez. I'm 1100 ELO player, and is it good to try to learn how to checkmate with the knight and bishop? No. I don't even know how to checkmate with the knight and bishop. It is not a necessary thing to learn. It is difficult. It is extremely difficult. It's the most difficult thing that you'll ever do in chess, and it's not worth the effort. Learn the two bishops, fine. I don't think learning knight and bishop is worth it at all. The only reason why it would be worth to learn is if you're like a national master or something. But like, come on, the odds of you getting it are so low. I don't play the Ruy Lopez, so I'm not the right person to talk to for it. But there are tons of like YouTube videos on it if you just do a search for it. I don't play the Ruy Lopez. I do an alternative for that I would recommend, and that's e4, e5, and then just bring out the knights. A lot of times you'll see something like this, and instead of the bishop here, which is the Ruy Lopez. I mean, I know a little bit, like the bishop is attacked, you move it away. This is the Morphy defense, but instead of entering those complications, I would just bring out the knight over here, and then play pawn d4 after they go like here, pawn d4, and then sometimes they would take back, bishop here, we take the knight. If they take back the knight, we have an early queen trade, and then black can't castle anymore. If they take back the other way, we protect the pawn. They castle, we castle. And then this is like super solid for us. We would play like h3, queen f3, solid development. All right, let's see who's next. Did I do next yet? I don't think I did. All right, let's see who's next. Who is up? All right, it is the name I could never pronounce. But I have your Ludmila. If I didn't write that down, I would be so out of luck. I do see we have a challenge from him. All right, here we go. Ludmila, here we go. Let's play. Good luck. Mr. Ludmila starts with d4. Against d4, I play d5. And we're probably going to have a queen's gambit or a London system, or this, which could transpose to either one. Sometimes we see bishop here, sometimes we see pawn here. It's usually one of those two. Joel, okay, yeah, that's fine. Dante, so e5 is better than going into Sicilian at high level. Not necessarily. The Sicilian and playing e5 as a response is two completely different vibes to it. When it's time for black to strike and go for a win, especially in like a match setting or a tournament setting when there's a critical moment and black has to come out with the win, a lot of times in top level tournaments, that's where you're going to see your Sicilians. If they're just like a normal game, no crazy critical stakes, that's when you're more likely to see e5 on the board. This is just how it is. All right, let's go over here. The bishop is nicely outside of this pawn chain, so I don't have to worry about like the bishop being stuck back here and struggle to develop. Let's go over here, bring out that bishop. And then I'm going to castle next and then play like knight d7. This is sort of like a London system, but with reversed colors. The point of this setup is to shoot for pawn to e5. They go over here, which I think is a step in the wrong direction. I'm going to take, and then knight takes, and queen takes, and then I'll play knight d7 and knight f6 back on the queen, and helps me develop my pieces on their tempo. They do absolutely nothing for this threat, so I'm simply going to chop off that knight, which was a horrible mistake. It's basically game over at this point. I'm just going to castle, play rook e8, knight e7, and then I may strike through e5. You know what? I'm going to be fancy here. If I play e5 right now, okay, there is this I need to worry about a little bit. So just to avoid all of that nonsense, I'm just going to play king h8. Bishop here just gets out of potential pins with that rook move. That was the whole point of them playing this, and to get activity over here. All right. I'm going to try to be a little fancy. Let's go with pawn to e5. If pawn takes, I'm going to sacrifice my bishop, because then if the queen takes, I play rook e8, pinning the queen to the king, and then I'd win a queen. I might just play rook e8 anyway, even if they don't take the bishop. That's a free queen. Let's take that. 100% let's take that free queen. Let's go. Give me the queen. Let's go over here. Bring out that bishop. Bring out that rook. All of our pieces are super harmonious right now. I don't really care what chess.com deems as a brilliant move or not. It's kind of irrelevant. That's a free rook. Kind of irrelevant to me. As long as I make brilliant moves, and if I feel like it's brilliant, it's brilliant. I don't care what chess.com says. All right, let's go collect the free pawn. Oh, you do edits with brilliance? Yeah, I guess for edits, it's cute. It is cute to have a brilliant. That's a free knight. That bishop undefended that knight. And now it's a fork on the rook and the king. This is looking real ugly. This, I have this. This, I have this. King will move somewhere. I mean, this is just over. How long would you say it takes to reach 1900 elo? It varies from person to person. I've been playing for over 10 years. So it takes a while. But people can learn faster than others. This game is pretty much all over. This is a fork. If they want to get out of the fork, they have to go here. Well, actually, that's their only move because this bishop is guarding here. So I could even pre-move this. I'm just gonna pre-move that. It's the only legal move. Okay, he says he gives up in the chess.com chat. Okay, fine. I mean, this game is basically over. Good game, Mr. 1234566QZ. Who is next? Let's get the next game up on the queue. Guys, I am going to close off the queue just because there are a bunch of people in it. And I want to make sure that everyone gets a fair shot. All right, we have resignation. Here we go. It's time to play a chess player, a.k.a. RNB, a.k.a. Yummy Time Apple 123. Can you check my ACC later if that's okay? I don't know what that means. Check your account later? Do you know any good places I can get a Ruy Lopez course? Yes, actually, one of the courses that I'm doing is... well, hold on, Dante. Are you looking for the black side of the Ruy Lopez or the white side? Because there's two different things to learn. If you're looking to play against the Ruy Lopez or to play the Ruy Lopez. White? Yeah, I would do Chessable. Let me pull this up. Chessable. Let's go to login. Give me a sec. I'll show you what that looks like. Chessable, I highly recommend. There is a specific course called Keep It Simple 1E4, and it's version 2.0. And in here, they have some chapters on the Ruy Lopez. They also have a quick starter guide on it, like this. And this video is like a 2.5 hour video. And it's by Krzysztof Sielecki, also known as Chess Explained. He has a YouTube, and there's like a whole bunch of lines for the Ruy Lopez, and then after you do the quick starter guide, that'll get you a good sense of how to play the Ruy Lopez, and then you can get into like the specific chapters. It's like a whole repertoire. Yeah, there's exercises and drills. This is what I do to like learn my openings. I do Chessable, so I have courses for black, for white, on the Sicilian. Like there's a whole bunch. It's a really good tool. They have move trainers and stuff like that. All right, here we go. Mr. Yummy Apple Time. Let's rock and roll. Can you type his name for me, please? Yeah, I'll type it. Chessable.com. And then look up, there's a search there. You can type in Keep It Simple. White, and then 2.0. And then the name is by Krzysztof Sielecki. He also has a physical copy of that book if you prefer. If you prefer to like read a hard copy and follow along with the chessboard, but I would recommend Chessable, because then you could do like spaced repetition and stuff like that. Thanks for subbing, Dante. I do appreciate it. All right, Yummy Time. I sent you the challenge. That'll get you booked up on the Ruy Lopez. All right, what's going on with Mr. Yummy Apple Time? Yummy Time Apple 123. I'm going to send you another... oh, here we go. All right. We're going to not play the Rue Lopez. We're going to play our 4 knights. Avoid the theory. All right, in this line of the 4 knights, where we have bishop c5, kind of like a London system, but with reversed, this allows us to sacrifice the knight. If they take back, we have a pawn d4 and we would have a fork. They know that, so they're going to take and keep things a little bit complicated, but this is completely fine for us. It looks like our king is a bit exposed, but it's not. Our king is perfectly fine. We have beautiful center control. Everything is covered. This is great. So we go over here. Maybe queen d2. This is fine. Maybe rook f1, maybe bishop g. Ooh, the queen is almost trapped, I think. The queen's mobility has just got cut off from that pawn. If I go bishop g5, where is that queen going? The queen just might be dead in the water. That's why this is a beautiful opening. It can very much lead to positions like this, where the queen is just dead. And I think we're completely winning. It's only move 11, and we've trapped the opponent's queen. This is solid stuff. I was thinking of playing bishop g5 anyway, but then I'm like, all right, the queen can just move like to this square or whatever, and then they're on my pawn. But they played pawn to d6, blocking off that queen circulation. So we pick up that queen. And they're opting for even more trades. This can't possibly be good. Let's go over here, asking if they want to do another trade. They do. All right, let's go over here. Let's actually go here so that there's no check. We're going to bring in rook f1 next. All right, they hit the pawn. Not to worry. Let's go with over here, protecting that pawn. Have I ever thought who invented chess? So chess came from India. The original game of chess, it was kind of a variant of chess known as chaturanga. I could have took the pawn for free, but whatever. Maybe this next to go there and then pick up the rook. What about today's chess? So it went in the Silk Road. And that's how it got to like Europe. Yeah, I'm just gonna take. And in like 1400 or something, that's where they made additional rules, like the queen being able to move a bunch of squares and stuff like that. I'm gonna go here, protect the pawn. Maybe h4, h5. This has to be good. Let's actually go over here to challenge that knight. Knight takes... Okay, I'm going to take back... I'm going to actually go... I'm going to go here. We're hitting that pawn. They have to play rook g8. I mean, this is looking pretty bad for my opponent. They don't. They just allow a checkmate. That square is protected by the knight. Later, read all messages I wrote you. Where did you send me? Did you reach out to me on CoreSquares.com, or did you reach out to me directly on chess.com, like DM, or like how did you do it? I will read it. Just tell me where so I can look in the right direction. Oh, we need to add stuff to our thing. I don't know if we've... Let's go to home. I'm going to see who we played. How many games. So we have a perfect streak. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need to update this 4 to a 6. So today's record, 6 wins, 0 draws, 0 losses. Oh, thank you, Joel. Appreciate you. Yeah, that was a fun one. Too bad you blundered your queen so early. If not for that, it would have been a more interesting game. All right, let's go ahead and play a 5-minute game with Joel Perlstein. Let's do this. 5 minutes. Let's rock and roll. Yeah, maybe next time. All right, Joel, I sent you the challenge. All right, here we go. We're going to play a Caro Khan. And we have maybe, okay, an exchange variation. Let's go with knight c6. Bring out the other knight. And the castle. Let's go over here. Putting some pressure. Let's back up that bishop. All right. Solid move. Let's go over here. And then bishop d6. Castle. Okay, let's break that pin. And then castle next. Yep, castle. Very good. All is well with this position. I may want to play queen c7 next and target e5. Queen c7 also supports that knight that's right now attacked twice. Let's go ahead and do that. You sent some new private messages. Please read them at the end of the stream. Sure, I'll check it out. Let's go over here. My control is looking pretty good. All right, they're hitting that pawn a bunch of times. I'm going to defend by going here. And I'm adding another defender to that pawn. All right. They are striking that rook. Let's just go here. If the knight wants to take, so be it. I'll just take back with the pawn. And then everything is a-okay. And their king side is going to be damaged a bit. So that offsets the weakness of the doubled pawn I have over there. This is a long-term weakness. All right, let's go over here. If bishop takes, queen takes. And this is starting to look pretty spicy. Maybe c5 or maybe queen f6. Lots of good possibilities. You should create a community where every day you make a puzzle so everyone could solve it. And that's kind of the point of the daily videos. You're saying to post the tactics in like a Discord channel before I make the video so people could think about how to answer it. Could be a good idea. Open to your suggestions. All right, now I think this move is spicy. Because if the knight moves, this pawn behind it is in trouble. So they're going to have to make a move like queen here, and that's kind of passive. That would be cool. Are you guys all in my Discord? Yeah, if you guys... I have a Discord. It's kind of dead right now, but I could do it. Okay, the king comes to protect. To find my Discord, guys, all you need to do is go to CoreSquares.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the page, and there's a Discord icon. You can click on it and join it. And if enough people join, there's activity, I may think too. No, there's a free version, Mastermind. You don't have to pay anything for Discord. Nothing, no, it does not cost any money. Nobody can have a Discord. There goes that plan. Is it like banned in Russia or something? Let's go over here. I don't want to do a queen trade. I don't want to do Telegram. That's kind of weird. This is looking really good for my queen. My queen is way more active than my opponent's king. My queen is way more closer to my opponent than his queen is to mine. I'm not doing a queen trade. Hell no. That's a hill I'm going to die on. I'm going to go here to hit that pawn. Maybe queen b5. I don't know. Yeah, let's do it. Let's go queen b5. Keep the queen active. Knight here, though. I can just move. I want to keep my opponent on his toes. Let's go this way. I'm on this pawn. And that'll give me tempo to like play rook b8 or something. Rook b8 is pretty nice. Yeah, let's go rook b8. That's tempo that I got. Mom says I could get hacked. And yes, this is my mom's account. Okay. All right. Oh, Belarus. Oh, okay. All right. Let's go with moving the knight somewhere. This reroute seems good because then we can go knight c4, hit the queen this way. I do need to be mindful of some potential forks. But I think we're okay to do it right now because we're hitting the queen. Knight is pretty active. We're going to move our queen again. This is kind of like a shuffle a little bit. It's not clear-cut on how to win. So sometimes in high-level games, you just have to shuffle your pieces around until the opponent makes a blunder. And that is the dang truth about it. How to get from 1,000 to 1,500. Hire me as a coach and I'll help you get there. Black Carbon. CoreSquares.com. But really, you don't need to hire me as a coach. It'll just fast track the process. What you could do instead is play a lot of games and tactics. And that's pretty much all you need to do to succeed. All right, this is a fork. See what I mean by shuffle around your pieces until the opponent makes a blunder? Boom, that's a blunder because that is a fork. Have a good day, Ludmila. Thanks for stopping by. And we have resignation. So that's the key. In high-level games, you don't have to always look for tactics and win. Sometimes you just make good moves and shuffle around a little bit and dance a little bit on the board, as long as you're not blundering. And then the moment when your opponent makes a blunder, that's how. Mastermind, I think we already discussed this when you private messaged me. So if you want to talk about that more, always open to having that conversation. Just reach out to me for details if you forgot. That's okay. All right, let's see who's next. All right, Seth, here we go. Let's rock and roll. Seth, are you here? How to join? Oh, Masour, my queue is closed for today. But if you sub to my channel next time, I stream between 6 and 7 Eastern time, so about 48 minutes ago. Then you'll play me next time. 8 months, that's fine. Take your time, there's no rush. The chess pieces are not going anywhere. All right, Seth, I don't know if you're still here. It doesn't say that you're active. Who is next, by the way? We'll see who's on standby. The queue is empty. Mosour, if you want to play, give me your chess.com username. I don't know about that one, Mastermind. I don't think the rules are changing anytime soon. Guys, I think Seth left. I don't think Seth is with us, and maybe Masour left too. So, with that said, I'm going to give it 10 more seconds. I'm going to leave it open. If anyone wants to play, they have 10 seconds to do exclam join Mastermind. I played you already. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have a good day, everybody. Take care. Oh, Dante's back. Dante, do you want to play? Yeah, no one wants to play me. All right. I guess not. Hope you all have a good day. No worries, Dante. All right, take care, everyone. See you next time. Bye.